Good morning, students. Let me welcome the chief guests, and then we can get started with the keynote. I wanted to welcome Mr. Sivaguru Prabhakaran sir, and who has given enormous encouragement to do this sustainability practitioners curriculum in the corporation school, and Mr. Yes Ramachandran sir, the founder and managing director KM Infra Private Limited Chennai, and he has been a great sponsor for us for all the sustainable activities, and he has been encouraging rural development activity and for the students, especially in Tanjore district space. He has been developing young business minds, and he's been spending a lot of time with the young business minds during his free time. That inspired us to contact Mr. S. Ramachandran to do this initiative for the next generation development. And then we would also welcome our special guest, Mr. Saravanan Parisuttam, founder, Trust Trace Coimbatore, and he's also has been contributing technology development in terms of sustainable solutions. And we would also want to welcome Dr. Sumitra Binu, head of CSR department. And I heard that Miss Dr. Sumitra has been encouraging many NGOs in terms of providing sustainable solutions to for many other people in the rural space. And we would also like to welcome Mr. SP Anand, CEO of Solamalai Enterprise in Madurai. He's been a very humbled person who I know since my childhood. He's my childhood friend, and who inspires us among our friends in terms of sustainable collaboration, mutual respect. Where my father always says, one of my incident I can recall. One day, like the driver of my ours has been ill-treating a poor man in terms of where what he was asking question. Then he called the driver and said, never ever be rude to a poor person, because you may have some knowledge, they may not have knowledge. So you, first of all, if you are a very a noble person, you need to know kindness, like that. The collaboration has to be starting from kindness. This kindness is the first word, I would say, the starting point of sustainable collaboration, right? Then comes Mrs. Vidya Senthil Kumar. We would also like to invite, and thank you, ma'am. And we would also like to thank PhD CAS thought leaders, Dr. M. Sengutuvan, the principal of PhD College, Arts and Science College. Thank you so much, sir. And I loved your speech. And in fact, it was very inspiring that you wanted to empathize, the students and talk. And it was very sensible. Thank you, sir. And we would also want to thank Dr. T. Kannayan, the Secretary, PhD College of Arts and Science College. And thank you, sir. And it was very inspiring, your thoughts, and the recycling thing was very inspiring. And then we would also want to thank the colleagues of mine, the foundation. So we were a set of friends into the corporate side. Like, we were corporate leaders for last 18 years, and we found that we don't have a hobby. When we were sitting in US and trying to burn our time by going to gym or anything, one thing we found that what could make India think like America or Japanese. So Japanese minds are very much, if you look at, they have the environmental set a very sustainable way. But how that government is winning, we know that the people are supporting enough. Like, when the people think it's a government responsibility, we can never become a greater country, or rather a greater citizen. So the gap is we don't have a great citizenship mindset. So why great citizenship mindset is not there? There is less empathetical, or we are into an ego-driven society. So why ego-driven society? We believe that we wanted to showcase pride over environmental conscious responsibilities. The social responsibility is not there. So how to enable social responsibility is the core idea. So now the climate change is one of the top topic, where the climate change is not just a looming threat, it is a crisis unfolding right in front of us. The earth is sounding various alarms, such as toxic air choking cities like Delhi, Chennai's recurring floods, and storms that uproot lives. And we also have other landslides, other in the desert rainfalls, and we also have island nations sinking as sea levels, and then heat waves that stretch the scorch of our summers, and therefore we understand that this could be the right time for us to set up awareness sessions through the conference to enable the students. And we understood that how are we going to baseline our researches. Then we understood, like, we have to create a methodology as a framework, like we do in the technology side. Whenever we wanted to provide a solution in the manual process, in the automation process, what we do, we provide a technology solution. We provide a framework in order to ensure globally they align with us. So why not an Indian organization develop a global framework? Why not only Americans develop a framework in US? They may not know the soil of ours, right? Do Americans will understand the soil of India? Anybody? No, right? So similarly, that's where we wanted to stand for our Indian nation. So when we came back from the on-site assignments, like, we understood, why don't we potentially talk? So some of my ex-bosses and everybody gathered into one of a short conference that we had. We said, like, why don't we make a hobby out of this sustainability mindset thing? We have been coaching various technologies, like from Apple to Google to other top organization in terms of transformation exercise research, in terms of how much carbon savings that we can create through sustainable practices. So have you heard of carbon credit program, students? Carbon credit program கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? Okay, carbon savings. So what is carbon? மூச்சு விடுறீங்களா? என்ன இழுக்கிறீங்க? ஆக்சிஜன். வெளியில் விடுறது என்ன? So everywhere the carbon is there, like, even we are all formed by carbon only. You all know that, right? So இந்த கார்பன் எக்ஸஸாக எமிட் ஆகும்போது என்னன்னா, நம்ம எர்த் கிளைமேட் சேஞ்ச் ஆகுது. அது எப்படி ப்ரூவ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்கன்னா, நிறைய சயின்டிஸ்ட்லாம் சேர்ந்துட்டு they been proclaiming this has been happening, that this is the root cause for the climate changeன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. climate changeனா என்ன? காலநிலை நிலைத்தன்மைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா? நம்மளோட நிலைத்தன்மை குறைய குறைய என்ன ஆகும்? இன்கன்சிஸ்டண்ட்டாக போயிடும். இன்கன்சிஸ்டண்டாக திடீர்னு மழை பெய்யும், திடீர்னு வெயில் வருதா? ஸோ அது மாதிரி நிலைத்தன்மை மாற மாற ஒவ்வொரு கண்ட்ரிலையும் ஒவ்வொரு மாதிரி ரியாக்ட் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஸோ இன் ரிகார்ட்ஸ் டு தட், we wanted to take a step, La Foundation wanted to take a step from rural to urban side. How are we going to enable the free sustainability curriculum into every government schools possibly? And then I know that most of the private schools have had a lot of chance, because your curriculum, not only CBSE state board you learn, there are other programs they teach you, which is an added advantage, whereas equality of education is very important, right? So for which we the corporate leaders, we wanted to really encourage who can use their knowledge. I would always say corporate leaders are scientists, to be matter of fact. Even each and every solution they have made, from the cameras to insurance, from store to online, everything, every solution is made by all the technologists today. So because of which, I always have a feeling that they can change this enabling of people in terms of a beautiful way, so that you children can help us. So that's why we want to come to you, putting all our egos away, making ourselves thinking that we are the soil. We could act as slippers for you. We want to protect you, because we have been doing a lot of mistakes. Our ego spoiled many of our collaborations. So we have to become a slipper for everybody, to make not the thorns to get into your shoes. ஸோ அந்த ஒரு ரீசன்னால தான் நான் நிறைய பேர்கிட்ட ஆப்ளிகேட். Even my father asked, why don't you do your job? But one thing I know, that this is somewhere going to hit my children also. I have 2 children. They may not know what is happening around them. But we are all, when I spoke to SP Anand also, he was also confused. Karki, what is that it is going to yield you? And even some of the guests here, everybody have addressed, but yielding can be achieved by next another 50 years also. But who is going to seed it? The seed, along with PSG CAS and La Foundation, today we are stepping into a conference, we are seeding, which is a great news. You are agree? So that's the thing we wanted to really do. We have seeded it, and it will slowly grow through all of you putting some effort in terms of practices. And we have also created a set of certifications in terms of transforming into a maturity model, where how maturely you're going to grow through various certification levels, certification 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And the certification that the commissioner sir offered is a white hat certification, which is the first level of certification where the corporation schools have completed. And if your schools are also interested to be part of this global movement, which is chairperson by Mahatma School's chairman, Mrs. Premalata, who was my mentor during my school. And she was teaching me social work since I was childhood, the 6th year, from 6th to 10th. Myself, SP Anand, and all, we were part of that school. And we all know that how she diluted the ego. And then when we see egoistic people, we understand the maturity level is low, and somehow we have to coach that person. But yes, if an educated person is egoistic, then we have to tell them directly. We tell them it is not going to work. If you want to convey anything professionally, speak to us professionally. We have to remove the ego-driven life. For the first step that you think, if you want to start your sustainable, forget about all the carbons. If you remove your ego-driven lifestyle, automatically you engage into sustainable lifestyle. With that said, thank you for this opportunity, given to our foundation through PhD CAS and PhD management. I humbly say this is a great learning, and we also learned that how transactional communications can be enhanced in a better way. And thank you so much, Sonal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your profound insights and inspiring us with your thought-provoking words.